Yo, YouTube, what's going on? Comic John here, and it's time to dive in to Scarlet Witch and her role in the future of the MCU. Will she become one of the next villains? I know everyone's anticipating Apocalypse or Galactus or Doctor Doom, but why are we not paying more attention to Scarlet Witch? And Kevin Feige kind of laid it all out there saying, this Wanda-Vision Disney Plus show will stream right into Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, which confirms the rumors that Quicksilver's coming back because he died in Age of Ultron, but he's going to come back from one of the multiverses and probably die again and cause her not only to just get really angry and kill all the Ultron robots like she did in Age of Ultron when he originally dies, but this is going to make her go completely mad, hence the Multiverse of Madness. And instead of no more mutants, it's going to be more mutants. She's going to manipulate, she's going to activate some sort of mutant gene in everyone, and that's how we're going to get the X-Men in the MCU. In Age of Ultron, her first appearance after the end credit scene, which I can't remember what movie that's from, but they only really just show them in cages, and she's doing her Scarlet Witch manipulating matter, and her brother's trying to control his flash-like speed. But in Age of Ultron, she shows up as a bad guy. Just like her brother, they're kind of being manipulated by Hydra, and then later on by Ultron. But then she slowly starts to come around, and it's in a scene where she's in the same room as the, AI, not completely born yet Vision. He's in this chamber, and they're working on him, and he's got the Mind Stone, but it's like slowly developing like a software. Remember, she says, well, you've never seen it, you don't remember, but there's a scene where she says, I can hear him thinking. And the doctor says, yeah, he's not really thinking. He's dreaming, but actually she says he's dreaming. And she says, well, it's not really dreaming. It's Ultron's base consciousness. It's an informational noise. So it's like shit's just getting downloaded nonstop. And it probably, to Wanda, sounds and even looks like a dream, because that's what dreams are. It's just random spattering of information. So she finally turns on Ultron when he lets her know, my goal isn't to just kill the Avengers. It's to kill all the humans, because artificial intelligence is what will evolve this planet, and we'll all eventually become cyborgs. So he's like, yeah, we're gonna kill everyone. And she has a turn, and then she realizes what he's doing. And we have my favorite scene between Hawkeye and Scarlet Witch where, she's finally come over. Thor flies down, creates Vision with the hammer, gives him life. And then they go out to battle Ultron. And she just doesn't see herself as an Avenger or as a warrior at all. And she's kind of hiding in this shack with Hawkeye, who's just a human. And it's so funny because Hawkeye's like, look, I got a bow and arrow, and I'm going to still go out there and see what I can do. And yes, the planet, or the city is flying. But you can stay in here. It's totally fine. Stay in here. Nobody is expecting you to go out there. But if you do go out there, you're an Avenger. So maybe I'll see you. Maybe I won't. No big deal. So he goes out there. He starts kind of getting teamed up on. It's looking not so great for Hawkeye with his bow and arrow. And then we have maybe the most iconic Scarlet Witch scene since before Endgame, when she comes and rips Thanos. We'll get into that later. But she comes out of that little shack, and it's just, she opens the doors, it's in slow-mo, and she just remembers, I can move things just by thinking about it. I don't even really need to move my hands. And she's just throwing these robots into each other, and all these Ultrons are all smashing up. She's basically like, yo, I'm kind of your most powerful Avengers member. So here we go. And she starts just beating the shit out of everybody. Then there's the Ultron versus Cap in the train. Wanda and her brother help Cap. Ultron gets the hell out of there. Ultron's like, what are you doing? Like, you're turning on me. And he eventually bails. He escapes. And then Wanda is actually able, with her manipulating matter, manipulating power, able to stop a freaking train. So basically Superman, stronger than a locomotive. That's what she is. That's what she does in Age of Ultron. Saves everybody. Ultron can't tell the difference between saving the world and destroying it. And I'm pretty sure someone says, yeah, where do you think he gets that from? Hinting at Iron Man. And, if you go back and watch all the movies, which I hope you all do if you haven't, or you probably should just do it anyway. Just go back and rewatch them all. Iron Man has kind of been the source of all their enemies. He kind of like makes things that eventually become bad. I guess I don't really have a lot of examples for that, but you get it. Ultron was made by Tony. Ultron was supposed to be Vision. He got infected. He turned evil, basically. He had a virus. And instead of protecting the world, he figured, I'll protect the world by killing all the humans because they're the only thing that seems to be destroying the world, albeit very slowly. One of my favorite scenes is when Cap, Wanda, and Quicksilver are kind of like going at it with the science bros. And they're arguing over Vision, and they're like, well, what are you talking about? This could be like another Ultron. And Quicksilver just pulls the plug, and Hawkeye shoots like an arrow through the glass floor, which Quicksilver falls through. He's not fast enough that time. Banner then puts his arms around Scarlet Witch and is like, don't make me get angry, indicating that he could just turn into the Hulk and squeeze her to death. I think he says, don't piss me off. And Wanda just manipulates the matter around him and it throws him away. He's only Bruce Banner, but I'm pretty sure she could have done that if it was Hulk or anyone. Wanda then, this is just another plot point in the movie that we kind of just forget. How do you get everyone out of Sokovia? Because that's where they are. That's where Ultron is. His plan is to literally, underneath with all his Ultron drone robots, lift the city of Sokovia into the atmosphere and then drop it back down on Earth. And as Iron Man's, Friday, the voice in his suit says, it's going to kill everyone on the planet. Like that, the impact of that giant city being lifted up that high and then dropped back down is going to kill everyone. So Wanda actually mind controls the entire population of Sokovia to leave the city. Because, everyone's like, nah, mandatory evacuation, screw you, like, we're staying, we're not leaving, this is made up. Wanda's like, get out, everybody get out. That's like before, it's lifted, before it becomes like this giant landmass floating into outer space, or being lifted into outer space. She gets pretty much everybody out of the city, just with her mind manipulation. And she's actually blocking the escapees. She hesitates a second and gets shot. Luckily, Hawkeye saves her, and that leads to the scene in the little shack where he's like, yo, like, you just mind controlled an entire city. You could stay in here, it's fine, but I'm pretty sure you'd be useful out there. I'm going to go out there with my bow and arrow, maybe you can help. And as we know, and I just mentioned a little earlier, is when she comes out, she opens the door and she's just throwing robots left and right. So badass. Then one of the worst things ever is when Quicksilver dies. And he actually runs in front of Hawkeye fast enough to catch all the bullets across his chest, and it kills him. And she, twins, and, they're mutants, so she felt it. She knew what happened, and she does kind of this, like, no! And disintegrates like 50 Ultrons that are coming in to kill them in that Royal Rumble, like, little tower that they're all in. One of the coolest scenes ever in any of the Marvel movies. Obviously, they get progressively larger and larger, but in that one, it's all 6 of them. Wanda, Vision, Quicksilver, they're all just taking on all the robots, and Quicksilver dies. Wanda gets so mad that, like, her anger energy just disintegrates all the robots, kind of ending the whole battle, which is pretty amazing. And She then gets Ultron. She's got him down. And she uses her matter manipulate and pulls out his heart. I don't know why a robot would have its motherboard right there. You know, you would think it would be like tucked in like the lower back or maybe like in the brain, but it's right where the heart would be. I guess Iron Man, you know, the arc reactor, but it was strange. Anyway, she pulls his heart right out of his body, basically killing him. And that is it for Scarlet Witch in Age of Ultron. This one went a little longer than I hoped, but it's just important, guys, to realize they've been building Wanda up since this movie in such a unique way. It's almost as similar to Iron Man. In Iron Man 1 and then slowly throughout all the other movies, you see how much stronger they really are once they kind of remove all their baggage. So that'll be it for Age of Ultron, guys. Up next, we're going to talk about Scarlet Witch and her appearance in Civil War, which is also pretty cool, and we'll get to that in a bit. See you then.